Hello, friends! Welcome to Adventures in Food with Howard. If you've been here before, thanks for stopping by again. If this is your first time here, then welcome! Banana bread is not only a delicious, easy, and quick bread to make, but it is also extremely practical. This is a great way to use up old bananas that are so spotted brown that nobody wants to eat them. I found myself with 4 extremely ripe bananas that some of you may be thinking, you need to throw those things away. But I, like all good cooks, turn them into something really delicious to eat. It may seem like a lot of ingredients, but if you like to bake, or even if you're new to baking and you want to give baking a try, then you should have these ingredients in your pantry and refrigerator. For the dry ingredients, you will need 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 2½ teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 cup of pecans, 1/2 cup of shredded coconut, 1/2 cup of dark brown sugar packed, 1/2 cup of granulated white sugar, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 to 3 teaspoons of cinnamon, and 1 teaspoon of nutmeg. For your wet ingredients, you will need 3 or 4 very ripe bananas, 3 eggs at room temperature, 1/4 cup melted butter, 1/4 cup of mayonnaise, 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract, and 1/3 cup of buttermilk or whole milk. In a mixing bowl that has the flour along with the cinnamon and nutmeg, add the salt, baking powder, and baking soda. Using a whisk, stir all these ingredients together until they're thoroughly combined. Add the white sugar and brown sugar to the flour mixture and combine everything together until all the large lumps of brown sugar are broken up. You'll want to switch out the whisk for a spoon at this point, otherwise your whisk will get clogged with the brown sugar. Once all the sugar and flour has been mixed together thoroughly, add the pecans and the shredded coconut and stir it well. In another large mixing bowl, mash your bananas with a fork or a potato masher until you have a relatively smooth paste with just a few very small lumps. Crack your eggs into a separate bowl just to make sure that the egg is good and that there's no shell in the egg. Once you determine that there is no shell in the egg, then add it to the bananas. This may seem like an unnecessary extra step, but it is much easier to remove an eggshell from a small bowl than it is from a large mixing bowl, especially if you tend to use an electric stand mixer that's running while you're cracking in the eggs. Mix the eggs and bananas thoroughly until there are no more traces of the eggs left. Stir in your vanilla extract, followed by the buttermilk, and then finally by the melted butter and mayonnaise. Using a whisk, stir all these wet ingredients together until everything is thoroughly combined. Switching again from the whisk to a large spoon, add all of your flour mixture to this wet mixture. Gently but thoroughly fold your dry ingredients into your wet ingredients as you see me do here. You want to make sure that you don't overmix this batter or it could become tough. It's difficult to overmix this when you're stirring it by hand, but if you're using an electric mixer, you can easily overmix this, so just be careful. Stop mixing when all the large lumps of flour have been incorporated into the batter. Using a standard 5 by 9 inch loaf pan that has been buttered and floured, pour your batter into the loaf pan and place this into a preheated 350 degree Fahrenheit oven and bake it for approximately 50 to 60 minutes. Test for doneness by inserting a toothpick into the center of the loaf, and the toothpick should come out clean. If you have batter on the toothpick, return the loaf pan to the oven and check the bread for doneness with a toothpick about every 5 minutes. When the loaf is done, remove it from the oven and allow the banana bread to sit in the loaf pan for approximately 10 minutes. After 10 minutes of cooling, run a knife along the four sides of the loaf pan and unmold the banana bread onto a wire cooling rack. Allow the banana bread to cool for at least 1 hour before cutting. Once the banana bread is cooled, serve this with ice cream or whipped cream as a dessert, or eat it plain as a breakfast treat or snack. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe and hit that bell icon so you can be notified of future videos. Also, please give this a thumbs up and leave me a comment. I always enjoy hearing from all of you. Thank you for joining me today on Adventures in Food with Howard. I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.